England's midfield needs help. That midfield needs help. And Croatia definitely missing Mandzukic. Those were the two main points that I got from this game. So let's just deal with the home side, Croatia first. I think Dalic actually said, I think it was maybe yesterday or a few days ago, that they miss Mandzukic because Mandzukic is not only a good frontman and a good presence, but I was actually speaking to a Croatian colleague of mine at work like some months ago, and he said, like, because he knows the Croatian team in and out, he said that, Mandzukic is actually the leader of the team. So Modric may be the captain, but the actual spiritual leader of the team was Mandzukic. He was a big presence for those guys in the dressing room. And you can just see that for Croatia going forward, there isn't anything that sticks. And Kamaric isn't it, man. For me, Kamaric is a decent striker. He's a decent striker. He's not a guy that can, like in a game like this, being at the right place at the right time and just get that winning goal. Mandzukic is the kind of guy, as he did in the World Cup, that can get that critical winning goal because he's the kind of guy that comes clutch many times. So with England, man, I told you, the defense is looking good. I think the understanding between Maguire and Stones is working well. The defense is solid, Walker's solid. So, very rarely do they make a mistake, and they're really forming that good understanding. This is probably England, and for a long time, this is probably England's most interesting attack. This is probably the most dynamic attack that England have, with what Sterling brings, what Rashford brings, and Kane's finishing as well as what the wing backs also add as well. So as far as attacking options, it's probably the most options England have going forward. The midfield is a mess. The midfield is England's issue because if Dyer and Henderson are your two midfielders, I don't know what more you can do. There isn't a guy who has any ability as an individual. Case in point. And this is sort of similar how like both of the teams have different issues. Croatia's midfield is quality, and you saw that. That's what Kovacic, the ability that he has with both feet is amazing, and how he's able to get away from trouble and always move forward, and his incredible close control is superb. Rakitic is a very silky player. You have to look very carefully at the way Rakitic evades and gets out of trouble and how he distributes. The guy's a quality player. And with Modric again, Modric is the kind of guy where I actually feel like he should actually have a greater role in the team. I think Dalic should have said to him, look, no, Modric, I need you to demand the ball even more. Because with Modric, this is a guy where he will always make the right footballing decision. And he will always pick the harder pass. And more likely than not, that pass will go through. There are times where he'll get his head up and be like, you know what? Boom, we need to go forward. Let's create something. I can see the run the guys making. Let me do a ball that just curves in and just beats that defender by just landing 50 yards in front of that winger that's making that forward run. So, and Modric is just that guy that, you could just see that he is, without a doubt, you could tell that he was the best player on that pitch just by his footballing brain, footballing ability, and the kinds of things that he was able to do. But again, for Modric, which is why you can ask him to be involved, but who is he passing the ball to? Who is he providing for? And I think that goes to Croatia's thing where I think they need to be more attacking. They were especially when you're at home, they were too conservative. And too many instances, I felt that they could have taken a lot more risks. Obviously, it's risky with the speed that Rashford and Sterling have, but I think it was worth the risk in instances where, you know what, tell Modric to go forward. Tell your wing backs to move forward. Just push forward a little bit more. Maybe tell Rakitic to get back and let's cover Kovacic in much more attacking areas so there are more bodies in that final third. But I think for England, it's like, you see, when you look at guys like Henderson and especially Dyer, I get what Dyer is, I suppose. Dyer is sort of the anchor. He's the anchor in midfield who's just to add some, solidity there. How good is he at the job? I'm not too sure. So who is your Modric? Who is your Koke? Who is your Verratti? I suppose it's Henderson. And Henderson he's limited. I mean, he tries hard. He works very hard. This guy will give 200%. But when you have the attack, a reliance on what the midfield does and how the midfield can provide. So Kane and Rashford and Sterling, they're reliant on a guy from midfield, busting from midfield and connecting the attack and midfield together. It messes with the balance of the team if Kane, Rashford and Sterling have to keep going so deep to try and receive the ball. What you want is a guy breaking from midfield, forcing your opponents to go back or force your opponents to come forward to try and press and win the ball, therefore creating that space for that midfield to now give the ball into Sterling and Rashford, who now have space in front of them by what has happened with midfield carrying the ball forward. But I think with Henderson, sorry, man, the dude is limited, you know. But with Croatia, man, I think there's definitely an issue there, because I do feel that, because it's not even in a whole footballing sense, because you could just see what Mandzukic does. Look at what Mandzukic is doing for events, and I feel that Bayern have definitely missed out on Mandzukic when he left Bayern. Because would Bayern have won that treble without Mandzukic? Because there's just a psychological edge I feel teams have with someone like a Mandzukic, because he's a guy he'll always get in the fights. He'll always try hard, work diligently hard, whether he's played out of position, he'll always give 100%. And I think that there's just a confidence that will permeate through the whole team with Mandzukic being there. So I think with him being taken out, you could just see that Croatia, they're missing their spiritual leader. Like, Modric is their footballing leader, but they're missing that character, that mentality, that dude that can really fire the team up, which was Mandzukic would do. Like, Mandzukic was going for a hard tackle, rally everybody up, and that would be it. But let's say for England, man, I did like Jadon Sancho coming through. Even if he only had about 5-6 minutes, quality, absolutely quality with what he did, and I think that he should be able to play a lot more. Let's talk about Rashford. Let's talk about Rashford. You have to score those, especially the second one. The second one, you could, like, when he had that, because again it was Kane losing the ball, but then winning the ball and then giving the ball to Sterling with a nice through ball to Rashford. And for Rashford, my gosh, that is a clean 1-on-1. And you even have enough time, if you have confidence in yourself, to go around the keeper. But I think, obviously, you saw what I was trying to do. He was trying to open the ball up and trying to go into the far corner, but you have to deal with that. That ball has to enter that net. So, I mean, what can you do? As in, if you're Southgate, especially in a game that's this close, those are the moments that separates you from winning or drawing the game. Like, Rashford scores that, England probably win the game. Obviously, Croatia would come hard at them and maybe they get the draw, but it puts England in a very good position to win the game and gain a very valuable 3 points in this mini league. Because again, I don't think either of these teams can beat Spain. You know, because I think Spain, with what they're doing with Luis Enrique, I think they're on a whole other level. But for Rashford, you've got to score that. You've definitely got to score that, you know. And I think back to Croatia again, you know, that's why I feel that, you know, I don't know that Daric can change his philosophy, but Rebic and Perisic are two very talented. And also, shout out to, what's it called? Chris defense was very good as well. I think Lovren, and I've forgotten what his name is, the blonde guy with the Mad Max style kind of ponytail. He had some very good runs from the defense. I did not know how good that guy was on the ball. But I think you got guys like Perisic and Rebic, and I think that they can be used a lot more, you know. And I think that they may be being perhaps misused as wingers. And I do feel that they should maybe perhaps come centrally. And whereas, you know, the wing back should now form the width, I think that they should play much more as inside forwards. I think Daric should really instruct them that, know what, I want you to come in and with Kamrich form a 3. Because right now Kamrich is, because the thing with Kamrich is that he doesn't have the height of Mandzukic, the quality of Mandzukic, and the experience of playing that lone role as well. As I think Kamrich is just a regular striker. But leaving him by himself without any sort of support, either from a guy from midfield, a second striker, all the inside forwards, makes it very, very difficult for the guy to do his thing, you know. But I think with England, man, it is interesting having the Rashford and Kane thing. And I think it does work, because it is an interesting front three, because with Sterling, you've got a guy who can easily break the lines, winning the ball a bit from deep and quickly threading through, which is what he does so well. In Kane, you have a guy who can hold the ball up, use his strength, bring other guys into the game, and a guy who, you give him the ball in a good position, that ball is entering the net. And in Rashford, you have a guy who can get onto through balls, is very sharp, can really dash through from balls you're giving to him. But you have to finish, man. You have to be able to finish, because again, in these kinds of games, top high-quality games, you do not miss a one-on-one. You cannot miss an on-one. So I think it's a bit too harsh to go ahead and call him Trashford. I think that's a bit harsh. But, bro, I'm sorry, man. I think he will look back and be like, damn it, I should have gotten a brace. I should have at least come off that pitch with 2 Gs. I should have at least come off that pitch with 2 Gs. But I think for England, the big issue is the midfield. So, because I think, no, Barkley was all right. Barkley was all right. But remember, in the midfield, you're only you have to work with what's around you. So in the midfield, it really is a team thing. So for Barkley, he's got to work in tandem with what Henderson and Dyer are doing. So I think England have to look and try and search for more mobile and more gifted midfielders on the ball, because that's what they need. They need a creative I think that is. There we go. They need a Joe Cole. England need a Joe Cole. They need a creative midfielder because there isn't a creative guy on the ball, a guy that has ability on the ball to look up and pick out a pass that no one sees. That's what you need. They need someone with some imagination. Henderson doesn't have that. Barkley doesn't really have that. And Henderson, Barkley is the best out of the 3, but out of the three of them, they don't have the imagination. None of them have the imagination or the creativity on the ball. Because once you have a midfielder who has the creativity and imagination on the ball, my God, the amounts of opportunities you can create with Kane, Sterling, and your boy Rashford are multiple. So again, I can't think of the top of my head which is there a. Because again, this is the kind of game where, look, man, throw in Foden, throw him in and just see what happens. Sancho, I think he should have been playing even earlier because that guy looks really exciting. So guys like Sancho, who has done really well abroad, Foden, who looks to be like the next generation, throw these guys in early. Like Chalobah, I think Chalobah was on the bench. Throw these guys in early. I think because again, I'm sorry, Dyer, Henderson, they weren't sits. They were not doing anything interesting. Sterling, perhaps pull him out a lot earlier, put another guy in there. So Southgate's cannot be afraid to put in the young boys in there. But for Croatia, man, Cambridge is not the guy. They do need a striker and someone to really take over from your boy Mandzukic. Hope you enjoyed this football analysis breakdown. Remember to keep it here on the Half-Full Football Hot, the home of football analysis. Peace out. Thank you for watching this video. Think about pledging and become a Half-Full Football Hot patron. Pledge an amount each month and gain access to exclusive videos from your boy, the Football Hot, for more analysis. Peace.